Live with Cat Carter. Get ready, set, let's go. Come on. It's Friday night. It's Friday night live. It's Friday night. It's Friday night with Cat Carter. It's Friday night. Hey. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Yeah. It's Friday night with Cat Carter. It's Friday night. It's Friday night live. It's Friday night. It's Friday night with Cat Carter.
Hey, welcome to Friday Night Live. I am your host, Cat Carter. How was your week? Oh, I'm just so happy that Friday is here, because if you are here tonight, OMG. My guest tonight, I'm telling y'all, this is going to be a great, relaxing, you're going to hear some great music off of my favorite instrument in the whole wide world. And y'all know what that is. The piano. Yes. International artist Rebecca Harrold is in the house, y'all. OMG. I'm so excited. All right. So I'm going to do a little bit of encouragement, and then I'm going to get Rebecca on, and then we're going to get this party started. So welcome to the No Stress Zone. Yes. All right. So tonight it reads, as a child, I learned to walk along after I had taken that first step. Then I learned to run. My first steps may have been unsteady, but with them, I was on it, my way to discovering a whole new world filled with unlimited possibilities. Each day is a new journey, and I take the first step by trusting God to show me the way. Yes, there may be shortcuts, and I discover these with joy and expectation. And I am also prepared to take side trips along the way, for it is in those unexpected times that I often find the most inspiration. Right now, as I begin the new journey that this day holds for me, I can put aside all doubt and know that wherever I am going, God is with me each and every step of the way. Taken from the Daily Word, 365 Days of Love, Inspiration, and Guidance. All right. So you have your beverage of choice. You all are chilling. Okay. All right. Here we go. So Rebecca originally was based out of Boston, Massachusetts. I used to say Boston, but it's Boston, y'all. It's Boston. Okay. Some of her accolades: she was the principal pianist for the Boston Ballet, and she enjoys international acclaim both for her performances and modern compositions. Please welcome to Friday Night Live, my new good friend, Rebecca Harrold.
Hi.
Hi, Rebecca.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Well, let me turn this music off.
I love the piano in the background. It sounds so pretty.
I had to set it up for you. I got the wallpaper in the back. I got the background music for the intro. I had to set the stage for you because you were coming in.
I did the same. I hung out my little pretty tapestry there.
Yay!
Let's hope it stays up. It's always a how good is that duct tape? Sorry.
Yes, duct tape can do wonders. Yes.
Absolutely.
And spray paint. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. We do miracles with that.
Yes. Well, I am just so honored to have you on Friday Night Live. I'm so excited. And for you all, for the viewers, I want you all to know that I have kidnapped Rebecca for the entire hour. She is going to be co-hosting with me this whole hour, and we got a whole lot of stuff planned. So I guess I'll just go ahead and get started with a few questions, and then we'll look at some performances. Is it okay?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Okay. So what or who inspired you to start playing the piano?
Well, I mean, my mom.
Hey, Mom.
My mom, who she herself was a pianist,
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, she did many of the things that I'm doing now today, and it really wasn't planned that that's the way that I would go. But
Hmm.
all my I'm the seventh of seven, so that's another thing that inspired me to keep playing the piano,
Wow.
was having so many siblings and never feeling like I was the baby of seven. So
Oh, wow.
mom
Okay.
made sure that I had my time on the piano. She was like, you I used to practice while mom was cooking dinner. And she would
Hey, that's
always
some. That was. I know that was great.
and it helped. Yeah, it actually helped because it would keep me out from under her feet, as a
Hmm.
little kid running around the kitchen. She'd be like, go play the piano. And I'd go play the piano and she'd be humming and
And
happy and
cooking. Yep.
yeah, and it would
Hmm.
set like the tone for like a really cool vibe
Oh my
for
gosh.
dinner. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind somebody playing the piano. Oh, my
while
daughter
you're
plays the
cooking.
acoustic guitar. I wouldn't mind somebody playing the piano for me while I'm trying to cook. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
like
It's it
relaxing and
it
oh
definitely it sets the tone,
yes,
to
yes,
have a
yes, yes,
joyful
yes,
dinner.
yes, yes, yes.
Instead. But
Oh
she
my
was she was
goodness!
like my biggest, and then my piano teacher, my first piano teacher, who Golda Montgomery, that was her name,
Wow,
and she recently passed away.
I'm sorry.
From Cleveland. Oh, she's from Cleveland, Ohio, and
Okay.
it's cool because she was a very active opera singer. So she was an incredible opera singer and did a lot of jazz, and she did that sort of crossover stuff back in Cleveland with the big bands, and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
she had quite a reputation and a really a very solid career.
mm-hmm.
And she was a single mom also. My mom
Oh
was a
wow.
single mom as well.
Mm-hmm.
um, my dad died when I was a baby, so that
Okay.
that really kept me focused. And between the two of them, they kept me out of trouble, or at least they tried. And music was one of those things that just kept me
Yeah.
fascinated. I've always just loved it, and I felt close to my mom because she would put me on her lap. I was 2 when I
Mm-hmm.
started. I was 2 years old, and she just helped me realize, like, I would poke at certain notes, but because she was a musician, she would just help me realize, like, oh, that's a song. Like, she just really encouraged that,
Yeah.
even from a
Wow.
baby. And that's
Wow.
I cherish that in my heart to this day.
It's
That's how
almost
I.
like I bet you when you play, your mom is right there with you when you do your performances. Do you feel like that?
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
most recently, it's kind of funny you say that because I started playing my morning meditation. I just come to the keyboard as my yoga mat, and I just put all
Mm-hmm.
my emotion in there. And this is the piano. This is the second piano that we had as kids growing up in Mentor, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the one that I feel like has my mom's soul in it. So I
Oh.
I texted my siblings and I said, "Oh my gosh, mom was singing to me this morning in a song."
Oh.
And I felt like her voice was right in the piano with me. So
Oh.
I'm
Can you
glad
play
you.
a snippet of what you heard?
I'm
This was it this
glad.
morning? I'm
It
just.
was a couple mornings ago. I'll see if I can remember it. Because
Oh
a
my
lot of the
goodness.
times my meditations are they're like feelings. It's
Yeah.
just, I'll see if I can reproduce it. I don't know if I can.
Oh my goodness, I had chills listening to that.
Oh, thanks.
Especially
You
when you switch that key, and I was, oh,
know.
she's about to. Then you were nice. You
That's
can't. But oh my
I calm
gosh,
down.
yeah, I
Yeah,
saw.
that's so songs sometimes just the emotion comes out,
Yeah,
and I could feel like she was with me in the,
yes,
and
that's
it's
beautiful. Thank you for
thank you.
sharing that with us.
It's totally undeveloped, but I appreciate you having
Oh
me
my
play
gosh,
that.
that's beautiful. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. All right.
Thanks.
So how do you balance your music with family life? I know you have family, you have other obligations. How do you balance that?
Well, I think I look at it like music is like, this may sound strange, but music is like like God to me. It's central to my life. There's God, and then there's music, and then everybody else sort of falls into place.
Mm-hmm,
Like,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I know when I'm feeling stressed out, even when I was little, that the piano was my place to go, where I could kind of make sense of the world and all the craziness in the world. And I think the best way for me to balance it is just to make sure that I serve God first, and then I get myself in a line musically, because that's how I relate to the world. That's how I process my emotions, and then I can give to everybody else and feel like I'm balanced. Otherwise, if that's off kilter, I get a little testy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I'll feel like people are intruding upon me if I don't have that in line first.
yeah,
That's my center, and that's the place where I feel like I can handle anything pretty
yeah,
much. I mean, not to say that there is some stuff that happens where I'm like, oh my gosh, this
yeah,
is a lot,
yeah.
but having that balance and having that perspective has helped me to be able to really give joyfully from my heart and not feel like I've cheated myself.
Yeah,
You know how you run around and kind of chase that exercise program? That's where I'm at right now.
yeah, yeah, so,
Personally,
yeah.
I'm like,
Hmm.
personally,
Ouch.
I'm like, all right, I've heard probably every program that's ever been written. I've tried and I've seen, I've thought, okay, this is going to be the one. This is going to be the thing. And like, the only thing that I know for certain is that if I don't do it pretty soon in the day, I'm going to be chasing it all day.
Yeah,
I'm going to be chasing it, and I'm going to be upset with myself and angry at everybody else because they're putting something else that has to get done. And
yeah,
so I just make sure, like, early in the morning, and that first thing I do is, take care of myself and get my connection with God, because that's my worldview. And I feel like that's the only way I can keep balance.
hey, that's
Otherwise,
a good way to start the day.
I'm an ogre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
that gets off, I might as well just go in the corner. Put baby in the
We'll try again
corner.
tomorrow.
or and it's actually kind of like, I could do that anytime during the day. I just find that a lot of things start happening, especially on Monday. There's something about Monday. It's like such a
Yeah,
chaotic vibe out there in the world. It tumbles onto you really suddenly on a Monday. So I feel like, uh-oh, I better get ready for this,
yeah,
like
yeah,
get
yeah.
my armor on, so
Yes,
that
yes,
so that
yes,
I'm
yes,
not
yes.
angry at everybody because they're intruding on my day.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that I definitely do. So, the spiritual, mental, and then physical health is so key. And it's been a lifetime of experimenting with different
Yeah.
programs on how to do that, and whatever works. That's the way I look at it.
I can totally relate to what you're saying. It is so difficult for me to find me time, and I'm working on that now because I'm understanding that health is wealth, and I
Yeah.
have to figure out how to make time for me. I have to. I don't have it now. It's gotten to where I really don't have a choice. If I want to, have a quality life, if I want to see my grandchildren, if I want to, have the energy to do the things that I do, because I've gone to school so that I can do it. I have to be able to have the energy to do that. And so it's like, but
Mhm.
it's so, I mean, my schedule is like, I've even let some things go and it's still like, and I'm trying to find that balance. And I think I'm getting there. I've got my little equipment downstairs in the basement. So now I have no excuses. So now it's like, um, you need to get up and go down there and
Yeah,
do that. And I probably need to do it like what you were saying. Like I need to do it in the morning before my day because you don't know what may happen during the day, and
exactly.
then you're chasing it. And so
Yep.
yeah, I can
Some
concur.
somebody said like with not like immediately. I mean, I've been around so many different people, and one guy was just so completely fanatical about it. Like as
Mhm.
soon as his foot hit the floor, he had to be on the treadmill or
He's
working
ready.
out. And I'm not that way. I'm like
Me
within
either.
30. Somebody said, well, within 30 minutes, 45 minutes of waking up, I think you're good because then you're still in that quiet mode. Still
Hmm.
waking up and go easy. Like not
Well, I appreciate the
like I'm
encouragement.
doing
Just to
marathon.
know, just to know that other people are dealing with the same thing. It's encouraging for me because this is not easy. It's not
No.
easy. It is not easy at all.
Is not. And these little devices, I mean, they're tools, and I'm trying to use them to help me with that very thing. It's like if I come up with ideas, or I've got about 400 songs in my library on
Wow.
this, because if I'm walking, or if I'm instead of stressing out about it, and that's part of keeping the balance too, is just being able to uh, give time to that creative side to us,
Yeah.
whether it be painting or writing. Or I pick up this and I use it to jot down my thoughts,
Oh wow.
and that
That's,
helps because I used to get stressed out about it. I'd lose the idea, or
yeah.
it's gone, it's never
Yeah.
coming
You got to write it
back. And
down. Yeah.
oh yeah. But
Yeah.
this, I just pick it up and I can speak right into it. So I like these. And the flip side is I turn it off at a certain point too, though, because this
Wow.
can be draining. These
Yeah.
little devices can be very draining for us.
Yes. Yes.
You
Yes.
know, I
Yes.
I I have felt it. I have felt that energy shift from these
Yes.
things.
You know,
It's
these things are good too for like listening to like good meditative music like yours. I'm
Yep,
just saying. And
yeah,
since we're talking about that,
absolutely.
I wanted to talk. Let's play one of your videos. Let's talk.
Okay.
Tell me about the song "We Belong Together." How did that come to play? How did you come
Um,
up with that title? Tell me about it.
Well, the
How
sound
did
the
it work?
sound itself was actually, I like the guitar sound. I like covering guitar pieces too. I do a lot of
Okay.
Jimi Hendrix, and
Oh,
I like
okay.
to do John Mayer. Like I'll do covers of their pieces,
Hmm.
which most people are like, you can't do that. You're you're not a guitarist. I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah I
I can
can,
do
and
it.
I love it. And
Hmm.
I love how close the guitar player is to the string that makes the sound. I'm almost jealous of it because on the piano we are not in touch with the strings. So
Okay.
it's an interesting, for me it's been a fixation. I'm on a journey to try to figure out how to change my sound so that I can sound like a guitar player, because I love how they can stroke the
Hmm.
string and
Hmm.
they can
Hmm.
bend it, and I don't have that intimacy with my strings. So I heard a guitar part, and that's the flute part on this recording.
Okay.
What sounds like flute? It's actually an electronic wind instrument, shortened to iwi. It's an
Okay.
iwi, that lead instrument, and
Okay.
that's a piece that I heard when I was growing up called Main Street by Bob Seger. There's a really evocative guitar line in Main Street, and I always love that sound. And I got that melody idea from that song.
Oh wow.
But the idea, the "We Belong Together" has more to do with a man and his truck. That really, most people think, oh, it's a starstruck love song, and
That's what I thought. Well,
It
I
can't.
guess
It
a
can
man can
be.
be in love with his truck. They do have
Oh, most
toys that they
definitely.
like, and a truck,
Most
a monster truck, a big, huge truck with big
most
wheels and
definitely.
a
And
vroom vroom is,
vroom,
so I get
vroom.
it. I get
And
it.
me, it's my muscle cars. I love muscle cars. I
Oh.
love muscle cars. My mother grew up, she had a 52 MG. How practical is that with 7 children? So that was clearly her little joy toy.
Hmm.
And
All
so
right.
I've kind of I remember, my mother was bigger than life to me. She was sort of this Isadora Duncan kind of character. She loved to have parties, the Great Gatsby, and she had her little
Hmm.
NG that
Hmm.
she'd be spinning around with her orange sunglasses and her bright orange. She was such a character,
Oh
and
my
I
goodness.
just fell in love with the car, and we belong together because
Oh my
because
gosh. Well,
because I love to travel, and I love to travel fast.
yes. Yes. All right. Well,
So
let's put it up and see what it says.
yeah.
Let's enjoy this. All right. All right. Here it goes.
Okay. Aw.
Woo. Oh my gosh, I could just listen to that like I just turn that on like and just let it loop.
Oh, nice. Cool. That's it was fun doing the piece because I that was filmed in Sausalito.
Wow.
Sausalito. So I'm laughing looking at the video because I'm like, my hair.
Oh, you were girl, you were the fire, girl. That was beautiful. You were cute.
It's like the weather out there is so different in a way, and
Uh-huh.
it's like, oh my gosh. I gave up trying to do anything with it. It was like, that's it. It's just gonna have to be just what it is. Right near the ocean, and I don't know if it's different ocean water or what, but it was totally
Like the
messing with me.
humidity, the
Yeah,
oh,
it was
oh, I
very
understand. Oh, I
the
get it
things we
now. I
think
understand what
about.
you mean.
The things we think about. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
It
God. I
was
understand
fun. It
exactly
was
what you
fun.
mean. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And for
All right.
other people have a like responded to the song being about, we're all together. We're all together and we belong together. So,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the role that music plays in our lives too. It can connect
Mm-hmm.
us. So
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. It may be a different story next week, but no, I'm just
I'm gonna call you and just see. Just I'm gonna check. All right. So yeah, that was beautiful. Oh my
thank you.
gosh. By the way, Rebecca, where can they get your music? If they like, can they get it off iTunes? Can they go to
Yes,
Spotify? Can they go to Amazon? Tell them exactly where
everywhere.
they can go. Okay.
Everywhere. I'd be hard pressed to rattle off all the handles, but I'm on iTunes. I'm on all. When you produce a CD and go through the manufacturing of either CD Baby or disc makers or wherever you
Hmm.
go, they allow you to put it on all those platforms, and you have to claim your platforms.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's part of the music industry that I didn't know. So once they're out there, they're all on all my songs off my first CD, The River of Life, are on iTunes, Spotify, Bandcamp, um, any
Can
of
they get
the.
it off of your website too? I got your website
Yes,
on there.
yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's sometimes the easiest, simplest way around the barn is
Go
just
to
to
that
go to my
website.
website. Yeah, because it'll have all that there
Okay. And
and
then
more
some, you guys, you
and
all go
more.
check it out. It's a lot of
Yeah.
great things. I was lurking on her website, y'all. I do that kind of thing. All right. Um, what has been the highlight of your career playing the piano so far?
Well, I think the biggest highlight for me was actually recording all this music. Um, I had been carrying it around with me since I was 10 years old. So that's a long, I won't get into how long, but it's a long time for me to have carried around this music.
Hmm.
And I was encouraged by, I was principal pianist for Boston Ballet. And part of that is playing for all levels, like the
Wow.
little itty bitties, all the way up to the company. And Boston Ballet has, like many ballet schools, classes for adults. And it was in this adult class that became the highlight of my musical career, which I wasn't expecting at all.
Wow.
Because playing for adults is very challenging because a lot of the times they're not professional ballerinas or anything like that, but they really want the sophisticated music. So it's a nice combination of they have good ears and they really like to hear great music. So I thought, oh, okay, you know what? This is where I started to throw out all my original music because I felt very comfortable with it and I could
Hmm.
improvise with it much more easily than I could say Chopin or Beethoven or these
Yeah.
pieces that are kind of like you think of them as sacrosanct. You don't
Hmm.
mess with
Hmm.
Beethoven, you know what
Right.
I
You
mean?
don't, right.
You
Right.
don't
Right.
mess with the greats. So I thought, all right, well, let me play some of my music. I'll slip it in there. And and it's kind of scary to do that because you never know how people are going to respond, especially when they're very opinionated, as this
Hmm.
particular class
Hmm.
was.
Oh,
And
okay.
I love them dearly. They were a lot of very, very sophisticated musicians in the class. that took ballet. And so they didn't want to just hear, doing, very simple stuff.
Yeah.
They wanted to hear really cool music that was sophisticated, but that they could dance to and do these simple dance moves, because it's beginner ballet, basically.
Wow.
So anyhow, I started to do my original music and got such a great response. Like, all these people kept saying, the students would come up and say, like, who was that? What was that song that you played for the Grand Allegro, or whichever exercise it was that I would throw in one of my pieces, mostly the really slow, evocative pieces.
Okay.
And I'd say, "Oh, that's me," and then
Wow.
I mean, this is kind of a long story. You never have to worry about me being short for words. But what happened? There will be no dead time on this radio show. What happened was there was a woman in the class who was a very well-known pianist in the area in the North Shore of Boston, and she had quite a recording career. And I didn't know her, and I didn't know of her, but all the people in the classroom kept saying, "Oh my gosh, you need to get her to play for class," because part of my job was to find local musicians that could fill in for me if I wasn't available for class, or whatever. It was my job to procure other musicians who could handle being in ballet, because ballet is very different. It's not like anything else. It's very specific, but it's it takes a minute to get used to it. And so I talked to Anne. Anne Sweeten was the woman that I spoke to. I said, "Would you ever be interested in playing for ballet?" And she was like, "Well, I don't play ballet." And I said, "Well, you could learn." And she's like, "I'm a recording artist." And I said, "Oh, okay. All right. I get it. All right. We're going that way. All right." So I said, "Where can I hear your stuff?" And she said, "Well, I've recorded with Will Ackerman, who is the founder of the Wyndham Hills label. Back when Geffen, Wyndham Hills, these sort of smaller recording companies, labels out in California, and he started what was called New Age." Okay. Are you familiar with New Age?
I've heard it before. And then I have some people in here from California. I have some musicians and artists that are hanging out with us, so I'm sure they've heard of it as well.
And George Winston. George Winston was like his star. He did the seasons, like autumn, summer, spring, and winter. He was most famous for. And they created a genre, which is, I mean, come on, that's no small feat. They created a new genre back in the 70s, and that was his label, Wyndham Hill. So she recorded with this fellow, and I thought, oh my, wow, that's awesome. And I've been looking for a place to do my music, and she said, "Well, call him up. Just reach out to him, tell him I sent you." And she was just so gracious and so humble. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And I say it was a highlight of my life and my musical career, because I had started to do some inner work on my, feeling anxiety stricken and kind of verging on depressed, because I wasn't doing everything I wanted to do, and I had been really working with this woman called Lucinda Bassett, who is also from California. She has a practice out in California that deals with the anxiety and really working on that. And so I had gone through my program, and I thought, yikes, I'm really intimidated by this woman, but I'm gonna use some of these things that I've learned from this program, and just not back down and not become timid. Right. And so I really persevered, and I just shut that inner voice off inside of my head that kept telling me, "Oh,
you can't do it. Don't do it. It's too much." Yeah.
She's being, she's not telling you the truth, kind of these lies, like, just stupid stuff. That was good. That was kind of the tenor of my life up until then, especially around music. We got a lot of competition in music, and it's very easy to talk yourself. It was very easy to talk myself out of stuff. So I went ahead and I reached out to him, and he loved my music, and he was like, "Come on up, we're going to record it." And it opened up a lot of different ways of looking at music, because he told Will Ackerman told me when I started, He said, you might have an idea of what you want to do with your music, but it's going to go wherever it needs to go. It's music
Wow.
is like that. Music is an energy, and it just, it can go in places you'd never expect. So I was excited to do that because it was finally, it was like giving birth. And I know a lot of people say that, like
Yeah.
music is like giving birth. And to quote Prince, who I have so much admiration for, Prince, the artist, he
Hmm.
said, when musicians finish their recordings, whether it's a CD, album, EP, whatever, they have succeeded. In their mind, they have succeeded. And I remember hearing him say that. And I thought, it's so true. He's like, it doesn't matter if you get a Grammy or any awards or anything like that. That's icing on the cake. But most musicians who are writers, which I am, we feel so accomplished when we get it done. And it might
Yeah.
seem so minuscule to
No, I'm
anybody
glad
who's
you explained it like that.
a recording artist. They're chucking out 16 records or whatever. They're on CD number 17. And I just feel like, every time that's produced, it is like a baby. Like you have produced
You
a,
birthed something new. Yes.
yeah, a glorious piece of work, and be proud of that. And that's really where I am at this point. It's
Wow.
like most everybody who I work with, it's like if we do something, we want to be proud of it. That's the litmus test. If neither one of us
Yes.
is proud of it, then we're not going to let it go. We're going
That
to
was
keep, yeah,
so encouraging. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Now I know Will Ackerman had a lot to do with the River of Life
yeah, yeah. He's the
CD.
producer. Yeah.
So let's do another performance. So
Okay.
let's do the River of Life, the movie. So tell us about
Um,
that.
well, this
You all are gonna love this. I'm telling you this
This
way.
piece is the pinnacle of that CD. It's the title, and uh, it became a song that I dedicated to my brother, who was a river ranger, and he died young.
I'm sorry.
And so, yeah, it was. I got to spend a couple years with him before he completely. He had frontal temporal dementia,
Oh my gosh.
FTD, which is the football players. It's the football players' disease from
Getting
head
hit and
injury.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
yeah. And I've worked a lot with fundraising and awareness for the FTD program because he went through a major transformation with this disease. And this song is dedicated to him.
Oh wow.
um, I Most all of my songs off the River of Life are actually lyrical, like because I sing also, but this was my first time doing recording, and I was so anxious and honored to be working with Will that I just
Great.
wanted to do it the way that he's used to doing, which is all instrumental. So
All right.
the River of Life is the story of that. It really is the how I see life, and
All right.
how we
Okay, guys.
we
Well,
keep flowing.
you all enjoy the River of Life. Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. There was your brother at the end, wasn't it? Uh-huh. That was beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. It was
That's good.
beautiful.
He did the Colorado River, like through the Grand Canyon. He was a river ranger, and that was one of his pictures when he was
Wow.
doing the river. One of his funnest things to do was weddings. There was like a wedding party with him, and they go down the whole river.
Wow.
It brings a tear to my eyes still.
That was a beautiful. The river of life. Beautiful.
River of life. Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful.
Thank you. And now, as my coworker's a ballerina. She did a great job. I think I told you it was freezing out. It was freezing. And it's really hard to man. It's hard to man, like when you see the temperature and we had little hand warmers.
Foot warmers. Yeah, you told me. Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you told me about
foot warmers for her slippers for feet warm and then what else? What else did we do? I can't even remember. Oh, dancing on a rock. At those points, I was like, "Oh my goodness, please don't fall off the rock."
I could tell she was a ballerina. I know she did ballet because her legs. She was like pointing and. Oh my God! Look at she did her leg. Oh my God!
That's ballet technique, boy. Woo.
All right. So we have to play a game. I have today give away for one of the listeners a $20 gift card to Target. All right. So I'm gonna put the question up here, but you can't tell the answer, Rebecca, if you know it. Okay, so like relax a little bit, take a break, and then I'll be back. We'll do some more interviews a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I want to hear the question.
Okay. All right. Let me put my. Bet they don't know. All right, here is the question. When vinegar or citrus juice is whisked into oil to form a thickened liquid, what is the resulting combination of the ingredients called? An emulsion, cream, glaze, or puree? Bet you don't know. Bet you don't know. Bet you don't know. Let me see if Rebecca knows. Let me see. Put your answers in the comments. Put them in the comments. All right, let's see. Go back to Rebecca. There she is.
I can't even spell.
Are you trying to put the answers? You can't put the answers in the comments.
No, I'm not.
I see.
No idea.
Okay, so while they're thinking about that, we can talk some more. Let me turn the music down. Let's see. All right, so we can talk some more. Woo! All right, let me put your back on here.
If you're from New England, there's a joke, and it says, "What do you now? Please, it might sound a little gruesome, but what do you call a deer with no eyes?"
A deer with no eyes. What do you call a deer with no eyes? A deer in headlights? No.
Remember, it's New England.
Deer sausage? Deer sausage?
No idea. Gotta drop off those R's, you know what I mean? No idea. All right, now here's another one. Here's a follow-up to that deer. A deer with no eyes and no legs. I'm sorry.
Let me see if somebody put in the comments. I have
you
no
look
clue.
Scared. Well, it made me think because I put no idea, and I was like, oh, that's a joke I remember from Boston.
No, a deer with no eyes and no legs. Cheryl, let me take yours. I have no. I have
idea,
no clue.
right?
I'll go to work Monday and try to tell these.
Still no idea. This is like the level of jokes that I can do. I'm just letting you know.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
it. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
I love.
Have to write that one down because
Oh my
it's with
gosh.
the
I'm gonna try to tell her when I get to work.
Boston
Yeah.
accent. You know,
Oh my
no
gosh.
idea. I got no idea. It's a no idea.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
They are
well.
cracking up on the feed.
Oh
Okay.
good. Well,
All
and
right.
I'm not originally from Boston, so I have to actually pretend to have a Boston accent.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it comes out naturally, but I'm from Cleveland originally, so there's that. I say my R's.
Yeah.
Can't help
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's a no idea. That doesn't make sense. No. Oh,
All right. Would you believe the show is almost over with? Didn't it go fast?
it did go fast.
It go really, really fast.
Yeah.
So
Yes, it
Cheryl is
did.
working. Cheryl is working on a winner. So while she's doing
Oh,
that, we
yay.
can talk a little bit. Let's
No,
see.
I want to know the answer. I had no idea.
If you had a message to give to your fans, what would that be?
Stay with me.
Of course they will.
Hang on. Well, fans are important. They're very important, and my message would just be to stay loving music, and to stay strong in this kind of turny, upside down world.
You got that
where
right.
where
Yes.
it feels like a lot of things are changing, and a lot of things are changing at a fast pace. And I just really appreciate my fans who appreciate that I just do piano. I'm not a lot of bells and whistles, and not a lot of, fancy stuff. And I think that that's really commendable as listeners, because there's a lot of speedy things out there that have a lot of, I don't know how to put it, but just it's maybe overproduced. And
I
I
understand.
really appreciate my fans who like the fact that I do bare bones. I just
Oh,
really
wow.
do like a lot of bare bones, and my message would be just to keep listening to that, because that's really the essence of music, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
is having it just be that pure and that simple. And I appreciate everybody who listens to my music so very much. So very much. I'm incredibly humbled by that, because I think it's such a gift, and I'm grateful to be able to give it to people. The music.
Okay. All right. So we have a winner.
Yay!
Let's give some shout outs. There are some people. But first, let's see. Let's what the answer is.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
What do you think it was? What do you think it
Me,
was?
glaze.
Glaze?
That's what I would have guessed.
No. You
But
want
I
to do one
am
more guess? You got
emotion.
emotion. That's what it is.
That sounds so scientific.
That's
It is?
It
It's an emotion?
is.
Yay.
And so I'm gonna put my daughter on with us. She's our music director. She's gonna tell us who the winner is, and then we're gonna give some shout outs so you can hear the people that came to hang out with you. And then we're gonna
Oh,
end
cool.
with your last performance. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All
That's
right.
totally
Come on,
okay.
Cheryl. All right.
Come on, Cheryl. Who's the winner? Hi.
Wait. Let's see. You gonna get on, or you want to?
Yeah, that's fine. Just,
Okay. You got me in your spot with the camera. You can see me.
just click.
I'm telling you, see me. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I see what you mean.
That's okay.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
So,
Great
All right.
job today, by the way.
thank you. You too.
Let's see who we have here. We had a lot of people. We had upwards of like 22 people on the feed, which is amazing.
Awesome.
Just
Yay.
on the Facebook site. Awesome. Yeah.
Mhm. So we have Mrs. Gerald in the house. Hey, Mrs. Gerald, it's good to see you. We have Auntie T gracing us as well. It's great to see you as well. We got Auntie Ada. giving us a shout out to Rebecca. We have Mother DeBose saying, "Hey Rebecca, thank you for tuning in, Mother DeBose." We have Karan Edmonds. "Hey Karan, happy Friday." We have Marilyn Ford representing us on YouTube as well, holding us down as always, as well as Illumination Kingdom Teachings. Good to see you as well. Great to see you and have you back. We also have Dion Mack on YouTube as well, tuning in. It's Cynthia Banks. And as well as a new person, Julia. She had a question for Rebecca. She wanted to know if you ever accompanied opera singers.
Oh, yeah. Yes, ma'am. I do.
Right on. Yeah, so Julia, she not only does she plays ballet and or not plays music for the opera and for ballet players, she also accompanies those singers. We also have Miss Virginia Mobley tuning in on Facebook as well. Good to see you, Virginia. We got Portland E.C. Ward. Good to see you as well. We have musician Kevin Moore tuning in. He is the author of our amazing jingle. We are so grateful to him for that.
Yeah, I like that song.
You like my jingle?
I do. I really like that. I was playing along with it. It's my warm up. I like it.
We also have Miss Kimberly Rogers tuning in. I know there's more.
They were saying, welcome back, Cheryl. This is actually Cheryl's first official day back since she's been recuperating from her surgery. So they're welcome.
Wow,
this
welcome
is
back.
really like the official first day she's been like on and really talking. She talked a little bit last week, but she's like actually typing in. And
my energy is back.
yeah.
For sure.
Yay.
Auntie Sally said me.
Hey, Auntie Sally. We also had Marilyn, I guess, popping in on Facebook as well. Hey, Marilyn Ford as well over here. We got Pastor Neil popping in. Hello, good to see you. We also had Walter Williams, president of the NAACP of the Edwardsville chapter, tuning in. Great to have you. We have Ms. Donna O'Neill as well. I don't know if I missed you the first time. And Sally Hill. I think that's it.
All right. And who is the winner for tonight?
And speaking of Sally Hill, Auntie Sally Hill, you are the winner.
Yeah.
All right.
$20 to our head.
Did you say hi to your Gigi? Did you give your Gigi a shout out?
Yes, I said hi. How could I miss Gigi? Gigi, I know I didn't miss you, but if I did, hi.
All right. So that was quite a bit. So we're glad to have Cheryl back. She always does our shout outs. Yes, sure. Yes.
My brother, somebody asked how old my brother was. He was 62 when he passed
62.
away.
Okay.
Yeah, and I lived in Colorado and spent 2 years with him while he was going through this dreadful disease. So yeah, he was young. I just saw somebody's comment.
Oh no, you're fine.
You're
fine. All right. So Rebecca, I first of all, I just want to thank you so much for giving of your time. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, and I just thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me on Friday Night Live. Best wishes on the Tree of Life and all of your productions. And when time permits, I would love to have you come back again.
Yes, that would be awesome, because we forgot to talk about the little project that I'm doing, the Universal Stage.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big part.
We didn't get a chance to do. We ran out of
time. It's okay. That's all right.
Oh.
Everything is for a reason.
Yeah. So tell us about Photograph, and we'll conclude the show with that.
Well, Photograph is about how I looked at a picture one time, and I felt the whole story of the photograph right in front of me. I looked somewhere back in time to a photograph of you, and I wonder how, looking back, what could I do to have changed the situation in that photograph? It's just one of those kind of, metaphysical ideas, and the music sounds very translucent and light. So it's a happy memory, but it's also one that I ponder, family times and looking back at pictures and just knowing where you were in that picture and how far you've come. It was an interesting moment and I felt like it deserved music.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. All right. Well, you guys have a great evening. Next week, I have national recording artist Carl Cox is going to be back here. You all make sure that you come and hang out with us next Friday. And we're going to end the show with Rebecca's photograph. All right, Rebecca, you take care.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Have
Yes,
a
yes,
great
yes.
night, all.
All right, everybody, here's Rebecca.
Oh.